Yo, what's up, everybody? Coming in loud and clear. What's up? It's Jez7780, and we are rocking. Shh. It's the night before E3, and all through the house, not a game was stirring. Not even an Xbox game. Anyway, just messing. Just messing. Oh, I'm in Studio A tonight. Let me lower this thing. See, how's it coming in? Is it coming in too loud? Is it coming in too loud? Let's see. I think we're good. There we go. I don't want to be blasting out your speakers, but I got Studio A on lock. Hold on, let me shut my studio door. Hold on. What the fuck? Thing stuck in my head. Soundproof, soundproof. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right, where's studio? Okay, Arnold. Yes, Arnold's here. I got some surprises for you guys. We're just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna be talking about some stuff that I saw today, some of the, in the Twitterverse, and also too on the that EA non-play, whatever the hell that shit was. Oh my god! Talk about people that don't need to go to E3. Oh man, what's up? I gotta talk to my buddies that just came in. My grinders. Don't call me Danny, Alish, Mog, Eddie T, Ben G. Don't call me Danny again. Coming in, Benji and Daniel B. What's up, guys? Everybody, just reading down the line. Yeah, Benji, I know. I'm gonna say that because I looked at some of that Star Wars. Oh my goodness, yes, I know that release date. I am in shock that they. Yeah. So anyway, so let's get right into the EA play. And we're only going to talk about the one thing that mattered, right? The one thing that I am so glad, the one thing that EA Play did that was good was have that Star Wars up front. So I watched it and I turned that off. Thank you, EA. Yeah, it's Judgment Day. Tomorrow's Judgment Day. But anyway, today was EA Play. And when I went watched that thing, so Zampella's out there. I was hyped for Star Wars. You know what? Star Wars. Let's see what's going on. EA done messed up Star Wars and the Battlefront 2. So they introduced Star Wars: The Jedi Fall of the Public, or the Fall of the. Who gives a shit what the name is? It's a Star Wars game. Third person action, if you could say that, with lightsabers, third person, right? So, anyway, starts off, Zampella comes out there. First off, Greg Miller, I understand that that Andrea Renee, she had some she wasn't able to make it out there. I know she did the last E3, but Greg Miller was a step in, and he got this last minute. But my goodness, I got two words for him. He would stop yelling and screaming on that stage. My goodness. I understand the enthusiasm, but man, I know it's E3, and it looked like it was in a parking lot. But my goodness, like, it was just, stop yelling at everybody, man. That's my job. I yell at everybody. But yeah, he was just very loud, just a little obnoxious, a little too over energized. I don't know why they feel like, every single kind of game show at E3 needs to have some sort of like G Fuel like kind of hype to it. Like, just, chill. Anyway, it's Star Wars, right? So Zampella comes out there and his buddy. They talk about what a great opportunity it is to do Star Wars, and then they show it. Okay? So it starts off, and I know a lot of people have seen it, and maybe let me see. I think I have the hell's going on here? I think I have. Maybe I could show some of it. I don't know if they're gonna take down. I'm worried about showing Star Wars stuff, but maybe I'll show it a little later on. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a 15-minute, no cuts. I was like, oh shit, this is good. A demo, gameplay demo, no cuts and stuff like that. But I gotta tell you my impressions of it. So, what I've seen though is that the first thing I noticed that the animations, it was kind of stiff. It looked very stiff when he was jumping between building to building. And let's see if I can find it on here. Fuck it. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go EA Play E3. I'm gonna be showing this shit here. I was like, no, not there. Son of a... You... Trying to figure this thing out here. Let me get this thing up here. I didn't think I was gonna have it up, but you know what? Let me just show it. Let me just show you some of it if you haven't seen it there. Let's do that. Star Wars EA Play, and yeah, here is this it? Okay, it's number 2 trending. So it's Star Wars. People gonna want to see that stuff. Here, let me get to my OBS and let me share my desktop. Here we go, and you guys can see it. We're gonna keep it. So yeah, so like, and I understand this alpha game footage and stuff like that. I'm gonna lower because I don't want any stuff. So like, it's alpha game footage, and as you can see, he's. And this is what I was saying. Like, the first time I looked, I was like, okay, he's running kind of goofy, and then okay, he calls this thing in here. Okay, he does that. He swings and stuff. It was this part here where it's just a little like clicks, sticks, like. Yeah, it just looked. The animations look a little rough, almost like a Assassin's Creed or just this. But this is the thing, like, that Wookiee, first of all, looks horrible. The face is okay here, but this guy looks weird. Like, the main character just looks kind of like little weird looking. The graphics look a little off. That's why I was looking at the graphics, but. And I didn't realize it from watching the trailer. Like, when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was gonna be sort of like basically the the Jedi Knight or the or along the lines of the Force Unleashed and stuff like that. Like, a real cool game. Like, I didn't follow this at all. So watching the gameplay, I'll just skip ahead, to the cutscenes. He just looks kind of weird. And again. I'm not a huge fan. I like Star Wars a lot. But my thing is that I'm not a huge fan of when they just start throwing random-ass people in the Star Wars universe. Like, when I saw this game, I was like, well, why can't I just grab Battlefront 2 and just use the heroes that I use and just be slashing down enemies that way? I feel like that is more action-packed than what this turned out to be, because it killed the guys. And I know Ailish said it too. And the thing that... it basically, I like how he's using the thing as a light. That's pretty cool, but very very just kind of canned animations and just a little rough. Like it, but it looks so slow. Like, it didn't look fluid as a Jedi. Now here, I'm not gonna be like a whole real like Star Wars fanatic, but like the Jedi's are like flipping and doing crazy stuff with the lightsabers and things like that, and this guy's just kind of like just doing like wielding it like it's a big heavy broadsword, and one hit kills. And the big thing that they also said was that this was like expert gameplay. Like they took a bunch of takes. Like, here's the combat here, but like they took like they basically he just slices them once, and see, there's the stamina bar here, the force bar, and there's no dismemberment either. Like it looks. And he has this red dot on people, like this lock-on. It's like this red lock-on stuff. Like, and then when I realized when it was very slow, I was like, oh, so this is like a Demon Souls, or they're kind of going for that kind of feel, like a rogue type game. Yeah, I thought he sliced in half. I'm like, no, it's just red. It's just like red marks on him, just like cut marks on it. And then he fought this guy, and this guy's sort of like the mini boss, not mini boss, but like one of those enemies. But yeah, it's sort of like this rogue type thing, and this red dot on these guys, like that's your lock on, which is a little distracting. It's a little big. And again, this is alpha gameplay. We'll see what it is. But I can tell you, just from my impressions of this thing, it just seemed very, very slow, methodical, and not as wielding as I would thought like being a Jedi is, like having like fun. Yeah, look at the flame. Like, he blows them up, I guess. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, some of it looks a little rough. I know that the flame animation they'll probably fix because it's like floating in the air there. The flame animation. Yeah, looked a little rough. Like I understand it's alpha gameplay, but this didn't look. I don't know. It's a wait for me so far, just from what I've seen. We'll see more, but it looks like it takes a lot of tropes from other games, and it just is kind of a little slow. What I thought for a Jedi for a type of a Jedi game, and now I know that they're going for that rogue feel. That kind of Dark Souls. That red dot has to be smaller because it's kind of weird looking. Yeah. And I guess when you swing your lightsaber, I don't see a stamina bar. I don't know what that white thing is. I guess that blue is your stamina bar. Yeah. That blue is your lightsaber bar. That's like stamina, that blue thing at the bottom. Because you can see every time he does a move. Yeah. Every time he does like a force move or... I guess there's no stamina to swinging. Yeah, big giant enemy spider. Yep, that's Star Wars for you. Big giant enemy spiders that do they have the Force? Like, do they have midichlorians in them? I don't understand why he's fighting giant spiders. As you can tell, not too impressed with it. I thought it'll be a little more action heavy. It looks very slow, and definitely a wait for it. And then, as Ayler said, I'm going to go back to the chat. Just like Ayler said, like they announced the date as I'll get back to the chat, guys. They announced the date as November 15th, and we know what's coming out on November 15th, don't we? Yeah, Pokemon. So good luck with that one. Oh, the spiders are natives? Okay. The spiders are natives. Day one rental. Oh, do I have to say it? This will be Game Pass. I don't think it's Game Pass. But, yeah, maybe we'll see more of it tomorrow on Microsoft stage. I'm sure they will because it looks like they got the marketing for it with the logo and then the lie of all lies saying that it plays best on Xbox, which I don't know how to get away with that trash because it doesn't play best on Xbox. It plays best on Xbox One X. That's the more details. It plays worst on Xbox One S. Let's get that clear. No, that's the truth, Arnold. That's the truth. But yeah, I just have to say, so like from the Star Wars coverage, it did not look too impressive. The graphics looked a little like they looked okay at first, like from far away, like looking at the the foliage and stuff like that. But again, the animations and the character's face this did not look like this was like amazing. Looked a little kind of weird, and I don't know if this is, again, this is Impel Studio who made Titanfall, Apex Legend, and stuff like that. Now making a third-person action game with Star Wars, and like I said before, like these Star Wars games, I feel like Disney has done it too. Just I want some attachment to the lore. Like I don't just want to be fighting stormtroopers. Like I want, or the I guess this is like a bridge between the next the Star Wars movie's coming out, so EA had to cash in on some Star Wars. That's what this might be like. Just like, yo, make a Star Wars game. The movie's coming out, the end of the trilogy, and we need a game to go with it because Battlefront was just, it is what it was. We need a Star Wars game to come out with the movie, and that's kind of what I felt watching this. I was like, oh, they're just trying to get Star Wars will be in the news in November because it's coming out in December, and now they'll have Star Wars in November, and just put it out there, November 15th. And Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out that, and yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't have that on my thing, but I saw that Pokemon Sword and Shield stuff, and I watched it with my son. My son, like, he's addicted to Pokemon. But, that looks cool. Like, it looks cool. I like the raids. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I never really played a Pokemon, like, game RPG-ish. Like, I played one on the Game Boy, but I never really played them. I played the fight ones and stuff like that, but, Pokemon Go, like, Let's Go and stuff like that. But, I gotta tell you, like, that looks cool. Like, they're doing some cool things in there, and the open world, and with the raids, and with just making ginormous Pokemon and having like almost like Power Ranger type battles, like Megazord and all that other crap. Yeah, that is pretty. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I know, but they got Star Wars, Alish. That's the thing. November's packed, and then right before that is Death Stranding. So MPD's November are going to be crazy, but I can kind of guarantee. I bet you Pokemon will probably come in one. Death Stranding might come in two, or Star Wars might come in two. I think Death Stranding's gonna come. Death Stranding and Pokemon battles gonna come out. Star Wars gonna come into a three, maybe. We'll see what else comes out in November, but I just think that Star Wars game is not going to appeal to what people want. I think people want more of a Force Unleashed type Jedi game. Like, that's what I was looking for. Like, action, like a next gen Force Unleashed. You know, considering they gave it to us in backwards compatibility and all that other crap, you would think that, you know, we'll get this, like, action packed Force Unleashed with some crazy physics and awesome, like, you know, powers and stuff like that, and just doing some crazy things with the Force. And it just seems we got this like slow, methodical lightsaber, Dark Souls ish game. So I'm just like, ugh, because I can remember like watching the Force Unleashed when he like took the the AT-AT and like you would just like grab it and just like crush it in the air, like, what's up, Wound Penguin? How you doing, man? Wound do Penguin. He grabbed the AT-AT and just like crushed it with his Force powers and like turned it into like a tin can and just like tossed it. That was awesome. That was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, that was pretty crazy. Like when he had that thing and just was like crush it. Like I'm like, whoa, Force Unleashed 2, like holy crap. But yeah. Then when I saw this, I was like, why is he walking so slow? Like why is he just like hopping and just walking so slow and methodical? And I think people were saying that it's more of like this very like focused combat, you know, where he's like just slow lightsaber stuff. But you know, we're in like just watch a Jedi fight now, and you know that's how it was in like the OG Star Wars, like the first one, where they're like doom doom doom. You know, do I have the lightsaber sound? I don't think I have that new one. No, but oh yeah, don't Sam Ash, don't even like. I just showed some of the Star Wars trailer early on in this video. You could watch it. It's 15 minutes of gameplay. You'll probably turn it off after the first like 5 minutes. Like I was just sort of toned out when he starts like platforming and just fighting the spies. I'm like, okay. And then after that, they did Battlefield 5 updates, which I didn't even care. I didn't watch it, even though I had Battlefield 5. Apex Legends, they did. They did Apex Legends, Battlefield 5 updates, Madden 20, which I guess there's a beta somewhere. What's up, Jemiah? How you doing, man? Madden 20, which I didn't even watch, like, you know, and there was another thing, and FIFA. Yeah, you know what? I didn't watch after the Star Wars thing. It's the second trending. Like people are interested in seeing the Star Wars game, stuff like that. But what was it? Help me out. What was it 20 Star Wars, the game that was canceled? Was it 2323? Was it that it? Because that looked light years and more incredible than this. I think it was what's her name's game, right? The 1313 2323. I knew it had a threes in them. I know it had threes in them, but yeah, that looked crazy, like on the Starship and stuff like that. 1313. Thanks. Yeah, I knew it was the three threes. I know there was something in it, but yeah, that from the visually that game would have looked like, and I know probably was like not real gameplay. Who the hell knows what it was? But even if they could have touched something like along those lines of type of gameplay, that's what I thought this was gonna be. I thought, I was like, oh, well, they canceled that game, so they're going to probably be working on something like that. They gave this Zampella to work on, and he just took, like, kind of generic dude face with I don't know. That guy looks weird looking, the main character. And then I think that was Forrest Whitaker. Is that Forrest Whitaker's voice, like, in that other guy? I don't know. Go back and listen to it. I don't want to play in the sound and getting copyrights with the sound or anything like that, any songs. But, yeah, just kind of... And yeah, just a little. I know they introduced a new little robot too that will help you do unlock stuff, but not too impressed with it. Yeah, definitely a ghost dog. It's a ghost dog. Yeah, it's not too impressed with it. Really think that they they could have done a little bit better with. I don't know. I'm not gonna say how to develop a game, but it wasn't what I was expecting, and definitely a wait for me. Wait for sale. Just from looking at the 15 minutes of gameplay. I would consider it a wait from sale. Oh, he's the same character from Rogue One. Okay, gotcha. So what is the time frame of this? The game, like, is it the main character is the guy from Shameless? Oh, that you're right. That's what he looked familiar. He's from Shameless. Oh, like the brother. The brother. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. So at least it's not. All right. It's modeled after somebody real. Then I apologize then because I just don't know. It just doesn't look like a Jedi. I don't know. He doesn't look like a fighter. He just doesn't like it. Just kind of weird looking. But yeah, I just didn't. It didn't look. And maybe it's just the way the animation. It looks all right. And you know what? I think those people that like Dark Souls games and stuff like that and love Star Wars might like the slower pace kind of Star Wars fight and not just slashing through tens of enemies and stuff like that. And apparently they said that this was about three. Oh, it's after the Order 66. Okay. And he's trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. Gotcha. Yeah, so it looks like they said that it was about 3 missions in, about 3 hours in, so he started to get his powers. So maybe you get more powers, and maybe you could do more powerful things. But it definitely looked very yeah, I run everything. But yeah, like it just was a little slow for me. Maybe he gets more powers, and then he could do some more crazy things and stuff like that, take on more enemies. But it was just wait. For me, so far it's a wait. I'm not getting a day one. Like I'll wait. I think that game might drop on sale like right after the movie releases. Probably go on sale, $40, maybe like that. I don't know how long it is. I don't know if the store is really gonna pull you in. But yeah, maybe it didn't look very like the platform stuff didn't look as cool as like, and I don't know how they do it, guys. And instead of say like the best type of those type of games is friggin' Uncharted. Like they make it cinematic when you're scaling stuff. And I just wish games would copy that. Like when you're hanging things, like you get that vertigo and stuff like that, and Tomb Raider does it too. Like the cinematic climbing and just cinematic platforming in between some paced battles. I think that would look a little bit better. It did. It looked very kind of cookie cutter. It looked very kind of cookie cutter. It looked very just like, oh, there's a great climb the great. Oh, here's some fans, like just freeze them with your force. And here's a little puzzle. Send your robot up there. So it really, I just wasn't too impressed with it. Not super impressed with that one. Well, hopefully, they show more and they show something better. So we'll see. But I wasn't too impressed with it. I didn't stay for the Battlefield updates. I didn't stay for the other ones, so you're not going to get the rest of that EA Play news from here. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see the other stuff. I could go see it now. But, I just wanted to say, and I don't know if tomorrow is going to be more of this. I think it is, because I definitely saw some of the Xbox kind of, those E3 countdown things, and they showed today Sea of Thieves as like one day. So, not Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2. Oh, I don't know why I'm still talking about these fucking games like a year later. But obviously, they're going to. State of Decay 2 is going to be there at E3. And they're going to show an update to it. And then when I saw the breakdown of EA's lineup, like Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, and stuff like that, I'm just telling you, like, my thing is, and I tweeted this out. And I know people might not like it, especially if you're service-based stuff, but service-based games, you like them and stuff like that. But my thing is I hate when publishers and developers use E3 as the platform. Like, we're showing up to E3, and use E3 and EA Play, like that whole thing, like for updates to games that already are out. And you want to know who the other one is? Destiny. And then I'll say it here. I am sick. And then also too, with Stadia, thing, and they had the Division 2 guys on there, and you can hear it through my Stadia stream, where basically, or Stadia, whatever the hell that fucking stream thing is. Sorry, I don't know if it's Stadia, whatever the hell the bullshit is. There goes the arms. They had the Division 2 guys there, and the guys talking about how he made the music and what the Division 2, why they chose Washington D.C. I'm sick of people. I'm sick of them just keep trying to reboot the fucking games. You release your game, unless you have a DLC, a new area, maybe something else, a new enemy type. I don't know. If it's a significant package to your game, if it's a new expansion, expansions, right? Dudes, like, okay, maybe Destiny could do that with the expansions, but I am sick and tired of seeing the same fucking games that have been out for over a year being put on these stages on E3, on when they launch a new system. I know they got to do it. It is just so fucking annoying. Like, oh, I'll jump back in. It just drives me crazy. Like, they're talking about The Division on that Stadia show, and it was like The Division 2. They were talking about it like it's coming out. Like, oh, well, this is the reason why we chose Washington, D.C. I'm like, what? That shit's been out since February. Give a shit about why you chose Washington, D.C. and that you're adding some bullshit that you're going to fix from launch. Like, enough. Battlefield 5, really? Save that shit for a tweet and for YouTube and for your website. But don't come to the grandest stage, have Greg Miller there, the crowd hyped, and then start talking about Battlefield 5 updates. I roll my eyes. And, I know people will say, well, tomorrow Microsoft's going to do some of that stuff, and I know, and it's just like, stop. Save that shit. And my thing is, like, I know Microsoft's going to probably do it tomorrow. I had some of their 14 games. But my thing is like, you had XO18. You have the internet. You have Inside Xbox. That's the places for those kind of announcements. You don't save them all for E3, and I'm going to get into that. But, like, Battlefield 5, like, why? EA should have stayed home, OBJ. They should have stayed home. That Star Wars thing should have been a nice trailer. We don't need Greg Miller. We don't need Julie Hardy, whatever the hell they're yelling and screaming, and Greg Miller screaming on the stage and trying to get people hyped, and some people in the crowd are just standing there. I know, saw that too, man. Game Pass infomercial. Get the alarms out. Let's go. Get the alarms. Oh shit, Silent Hill, motherfucker. Silent Hill. Here it comes. Yeah, I know. But, they had the EA thing and Sims 4. Sims 4. How long did that game come out? Like, what was that? Sims 4. This is like 4 years ago? 3 years ago? And that's the thing, dedicated servers. You're right. It adds cringe to this stuff. Like, you know who your audience is. Like, you don't have to grab the attention of a 7-year-old. Like, that's not what you're doing there. You're not grabbing the attention of a 7-year-old. You're grabbing the attention of 20 to 30-year-olds, like mature people who's watching this shit on a Saturday afternoon. All right? A Saturday afternoon. Okay? So we don't need the goofy shit. We don't need hosts in the crowd. Just like how some of this shit is just goofy. Like, just get your message. Make the game speak for itself. Let us just look at it and appreciate what you got. That's it. I think Phil Spencer said it, of all people. It was like when everybody was kind of complaining about how Microsoft doesn't have the games, and Phil's like, well, just go to E3. We're just going to let the games speak for themselves. And it just is like, I don't like being taken a fool. Like, it just annoys me because it interferes with what I'm trying to say, because they're just kind of treating me like I'm just like a G Fuel nutcase. Like I'm salivating. Show me games. Like, please. EA, like, you got people, like, maybe for the crowd, it's there, and that's probably what it's for, the hype for the crowd and stuff like that. But just, God, please, show your shit and move on. Like, or and don't have people like and then they had the nerve to have a countdown, like they needed a cooldown period. Like, shit, you saw some Star Wars, in the next 2 minutes. We're gonna do Apex Legends, but we got to have a cooldown now, and we're gonna have like Judy Hardy just like walk around and talk to people, and or like just do that shit. And it's like, we need a cooldown. After, like, you almost put me to sleep near the end of that trailer of the Star Wars stuff, where the guy was just like shooting at red dots. Put me to friggin' sleep. Just, But I'm telling you, what grinds my gears so much, what grinds my gears is just these games as a service. Stop relaunching them and using that as news. Please. Save it for Twitter. Save it for a random rainy day on a Wednesday, some news. But don't go to E3 and save that for E3 stage. You got people from all over the world coming there. Everybody's watching. And that's why they do it, I know, because they go, oh, Battlefield's getting an update. Oh, I might jump back into that. But, I don't know. It's probably just me. And, with my things. And, yeah, I know. It's probably just me, but I'm just, I don't count that as friggin' news. I'm just like, shit, man. That's an update. Thank you very much. But that should not have a bullet point in a presentation. That should be like, talk to me after the show and I'll tell you what the updates are. Unless there's a DLC or an expansion or like a new area or something like that. Like I'll say, like, Forza Horizon 4, if that's an expansion like with Hot Wheels or something like that, cool. That's fine. But when you're like, we're adding new weapons, we got a new big enemy now. We fixed the cover mechanic due to fan requests. Now we have a day-night cycle. It rains now. That shit gotta go. That's Twitter. That's a Twitter YouTube. You want to tell me, oh shit, we're going to the suburbs of Washington, D.C. for Division 2? All right, now we're talking. Now that's something let's talk about. That's new areas. But don't go on there going, well, with Stadia, we're using this, and now that we fixed a whole bunch, we had a bunch of times to find and refine this game, and no, that's not that is a patch update, please. Keep that shit off of E3 stage. Keep that shit away from video game, like big kind of console announcements and shit like that. Keep that shit home. Keep that shit on the internet. That's where we keep it. And that's my summary of that area. But anyway, back to, EA Play. I can't give you updates on that stuff, so I failed. Epic fail for me. I just saw the Star Wars stuff, and that's the one thing I wanted to talk about with the Star Wars stuff, and then just kind of talk about how the rest of it, I just was like, I'll check out that Battlefield 5 update when it does. But you want to know something that I noticed too? And because I know Call of Duty's doing this too. And I said, tonight's just going to be some random stuff. All my shit's random anyway. And I appreciate you guys coming out, grinders. We just talk random shit. And you have any questions or any topics you want to bring up, and bring them in the chat. Let's go. We got the soundboard good. I got some good ones. I didn't put them out there. I'm trying to see where I can fit them in. I don't want to just go through soundboard stuff and sound like a fucking spam in soundboards. But I just wanted to, I got some new ones here. I think I have some other one. I love that one. That one was great. So, I don't know if you can hear my soundboard stuff. Can you hear it? I hope you can. Just let me know if you can hear my my soundboards going on there. But, yeah. So, anyway, back to another thing I noticed, too. Oh, there we go. My other one wasn't updating. Here we go. I didn't see. There you go. Sorry, guys. I didn't see the chat was going. There we go. Let me get to this. Hold on. Pop out the chat. I had the wrong chat. It wasn't refreshing. I was like, nobody's talking. Yeah. So, we'll get into the Bleeding Edge thing. We'll go talk to the Bleeding Edge. Can you hear my sound bites? Like, can you hear can you hear that? I hope you can. Let me see. Could you hear the Arnold sound bites, or I've been doing them and just hearing them myself? Just let me know if you hear them. Now you can't hear them. Shit. What happened? No. Oh my goodness. I was like making myself have fun here, and nobody can hear my sound bites. Hold on. We are going to fix that. Nope. No soundboard. Oh my goodness. You guys sticking around and didn't hear my soundboard. Holy crap. Let's see. Where is it? Let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna fix this thing here.
Who is your daddy?
There we go. I think you heard that one, right?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, didn't hear that one either.
Well, I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
I'll put them louder. There we go. All right, so what I was saying before, and man, what I had to say before, I apologize, guys. Thank you very much. Now we got it, because I didn't see it popping up on my thing. I think it got messed up when I shared my screen. So anyway, just going back to Greg Miller hosting that thing. There you go.
Well, I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me. Come on, don't bullshit me. I lied.
Anyway, EA, I got some words for you about EA Play.
Take it back.
Yes.
Take it back.
Next year, go to YouTube and Twitter, please. Anyway, now we're cooking with oil. I got the friggin' soundboard. Let's go.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions.
We have a question from Brian V.
I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, that's when you get a question. If I could pick one big game from each of these companies that's doing a show that will make E3 the best for you, what would it be? All right. So, if I could pick one big game for each. So, like, this is just, Brian, just like out of the whole, like, the ones that are doing a show. One big game. Each one of these companies that's doing a show that can make E3. So, my thing is I would really be excited, and this is a wish, if Microsoft really brought back one of its old IPs and did it right. Not no remaster, not no refresh. I mean a reboot. And I'm talking, and I know people might not like this, but as you can see from my screen though, I want a Conker. I think we need a Conker. And I think that is an IP that has been abandoned. And I think that will fit perfectly into what we could use right now. Like, I think it would be great. Like, just the satire, just the joking, like a very funny, just kind of goofball kind of game. Like, that's the thing. Like, it was a platformer. It was what it was. But it was creatively done because it had innuendos. It made fun of like Saving Private Ryan and aliens, and like it was basically a comment to our culture. And I think, and I'm a big fan of like Naked Guns and all that other stuff, that kind of stuff. Like, I think having that kind of comedy in a game, if it's creatively done, I think would be unique. And I think that I would be huge to see that stuff. Like, I wanted to punch the screen when I saw the tale of that son of a bitch Lucky. Where is he? Where is that guy? That son of a bitch. I don't have that. Oh, shit, I don't have that one. Damn.
Don't do that.
Yeah, when I had that Lucky guy flying around the screen, I thought it was Conker. But I would say, like, I would love Microsoft. That will be a huge E3 for me if they brought back a Perfect Dark or a Conker. Even the multiplayer. Oh, my God, man. The multiplayer I played in college, we played snipers. We played the Teddies with the Conker, with the sniping. Like, it was just stupid. One map captured a flag, but it was friggin' hilarious. Man, that's all we played. 2 versus 2, man. What's up, Plays Unite? How you doing, man? Like, And I'm just saying, like, I would, that would be a surprise for me, like, of who's doing a show. Like, and I don't care where it's played, if it's on PC or something like that, but just Microsoft getting one of its IPs, and also MechAssault. If I had to pick one big game, if they brought back MechAssault, and I mean did it right, like, gave it the respect that, like, don't just give me a 4K version of the old MechAssault, or a 4K version of Conquer, like what they did. Do a new one and make it for this generation. Let's go. Speaking about Ubisoft, I wanted to see Skull and Bones. Like, that pirate game looked pretty cool. What is it? The Watch Dogs? I will have to see. Watch Dogs 2 is all right. I wasn't a fan of the first one. You know, I think they put on a good show where you could hack anything and all that other stuff, and then it just becomes spam in the L1 or R1, the LB and the bumper where you just spamming stuff in the environment. I didn't. It was a little misleading of that one. And then Nintendo, we'll see what Nintendo shows. But I hope Pokemon, and the what is it? The Legend of Zelda, that looks kind of cool. You know, the remaster of that thing, doing it right. You know, that looks kind of cool. The Link to the Past. Is it a Link to the Past? Right? I think that's what I remember that they announced it. But like, yeah, I played that thing like crazy. Oh my god, that was like epic. Yeah. So I don't know if I have time to play it again, but like, yeah, those are the kind of big games. But for Microsoft Stage, like, and you know, I really want to see what Halo Infinite is. And what that's going to be like. I want to see what the new engine looks like, what the game looks like. And I really want to know how they're going to see, I get kind of concerned when they're like, oh, this is the Halo for everyone. And, you know, it's like, we're going to get new people in and this people in. And it's like, like, this is technically the third one. And I guess they said it's a saga. But, you know, this is the third one. Like, you had 4, 5, you know, and now you have 6, or they call it Infinite. Like, this should be kind of like, yo, we're gonna wrap up this story and start anew. Oh my god, Platinum Games doing a MechAssault game. I don't know. I know that Platinum Games did there was a Transformers game, which was pretty cool. But MechAssault 2 was like the defining game for me for online. In addition to Halo 2. But MechAssault 2, when you had the VTOL and you could jump out of your mech, or you could hijack mechs and stuff like that. And that's the thing that gets me. It's like this creativity. Everybody's so quick, these game guys, to make a fucking dollar. Just like I'm just like, why were those cool things happening there with the hijacking, and you had a VTOL, you had people carrying people with the plane, and then you could land them in the middle of the field, and they have their own battle suit, and they could jump out of their battle suits, or you could jump into a mech, and there was just so much variety. And that was OG Xbox. FASA Studios. They'll do one now, and they'll give me loot boxes and tell me what color my mech could be. It's just, I don't know where the creativity went. You know, where the new stuff went. Like, I think one of the cool things is the emerging worlds, like in Red Dead Redemption and, you know, Days Gone, where they have these open world games, but they actually feel alive. You know, that was, and had these random things, and Far Cry did it really cool too, where, you know, just random things happen, and not just like random event. They're random events, but they happen just with the ecosystem. I like that stuff. Like, that stuff's cool because it makes the transversal from one, even though Red Dead's a little too slow, but like the transversal between one place to another, like these random things. Like, I don't like, to me personally, I don't like just cookie cutter. Just, I know what to expect. Like, oh yeah, the monster's gonna come out of that door. Oh, they're gonna spawn out of that thing. Here I go. I'm gonna walk here. As soon as I pass by this thing, here they come. Like, I want to be surprised. I want variety. I want variability. I want randomness. I want something to happen like as if it would happen in real life. Like, just kind of randomly. Like, oh shit. Like, you expect things to happen. Like, oh my god, if I crash into that tree, the tree should fall down. You know, just simple things like that. I think add a lot to a game. And you know, and I feel like, you know, with these teraflops and graphics power, I feel like these games are turning into more ways of how can they pull more money out of our pockets than actually trying to make a game just to make a game. And maybe that's why my gravitation towards what Sony has been doing with its games recently have just made a game just to play a game. I don't have to worry about booty boxes. I don't have to worry about DLC that I'm not going to get. I don't have to worry about a game that needs to get fixed. Like, oh, you know what? I'm playing this game, and you know what? They only put half the game in here. I got to wait next month for the next update. They said they're going to fix everything. Or it's just you buy the game, you put it in the system, and you play it, and you get engrossed into the story. And I don't know what they do, but their motion capture, their voice acting, and their writing all kind of hit on there. I don't know if it's that ability for studios, but that kind of stuff really pulls me in to the stories, and that's just maybe how old I am and just where I am with games and stuff. But yeah, I like playing online multiplayer and stuff like that. But when it's the same shit, you know, it gets kind of dull. But yeah, we'll see. You know, tomorrow, you know, we'll see with that. MechAssault would be cool, you know, if they say that the MechAssault. But yeah, I want to get into that bleeding edge stuff. So, was my thing. We're gonna get to this. So I did my podcast yesterday of the bleeding edge stuff, right? So let's go. So I saw the stuff, all right, and I saw it while I was at Best Buy. I was like, holy shit, I saw this thing. I saw it break. And this is the thing, right? My thing with this is that the game looks like, to me, like not a $60 game. It looks like an arcade game. Like, I was just like, oh, it looks okay. It looks cool. Like, I didn't say it was garbage or, oh my god, this is trash and this looks like a broken game. No, because I didn't play it or anything like that. But looking at it from visually, 4v4 multiplayer, there's no single player from what it showed in that trailer. And again, we'll find more about it tomorrow. But it looked like Overwatch, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is a kind of a melee type Overwatch. What's up, Bow's Moves? How you doing, man? So, and when I saw it, I was like, okay, you know, it's okay. Like, it looked like a Game Pass game. Like, it looked like a game. It's like, oh, yep, $30, arcade, Xbox Live Arcade. You know? No, I haven't seen Grounded. No, I have not seen that. I gotta still watch that documentary, Mog, and the God of War. Those are the two I gotta watch. I know I gotta watch those two. But just going to see what I saw there was it looked like an arcade game. Like, you know, when they had Xbox Live Arcade, like what State of Decay 1 was, like, oh, that looks like a $20-$30 cool arena shooter. And it kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you remember this game, but it was called Monday Night Combat. It was an Xbox Live Arcade game. For my first PAX in 2010, I played it there. It was an Xbox Live Arcade game called Monday Night Combat. And it was like a 3 versus 3, almost like Riggs, where it was an arena shooter, and you basically had to, you know, just a death match, and there were little power-ups and stuff like that. But it was called Monday Night Combat. It never took off. It didn't have the multiplayer. It was multiplayer only, and nobody really played it. I remember them giving it free. Oh, wow. Okay, Mog, definitely. I'm definitely going to check it out. But yeah, so I saw this, and I was like, oh, this looks like a Monday Night Combat or some type of like arcade game, 4v4. But what I found hilarious in the trailer was that they're like, from the creators of Hellblade and Heavenly Sword and all this other stuff, and Heavenly Sword and Enslaved, and I'm like, all of those are single player narrative stories. Like, and I said this on Sakuma's podcast, the PlayStation podcast, like you would think that you would have those kind of like that thing. It's like you have a character walking, and then you have this picture, then You have trees swaying in the background, and the character's walking so dramatically, and it's like from the creators of Hellblade. And then the character turns to the right and like sees like a storm in the distance, and the rain's coming. And it's like from the creators of Enslaved, and then the rain comes and a lightning strikes the tree, and it's like, poof, and it's like brought to you by the creators of Heavenly Sword. And then she starts doing wielding a combat. So like very dramatic, and you're like, okay, well those games kind of like merge together. This is a single player and everything. But when you see like 4 like overdrawn characters with animated violence, like shooting blades at each other and smacking each other and having all this hipster stuff, and it's like from the makers of Heavenly Sword, and this, it's like those games have no influence on this game at all. That's where it's kind of weird. Like, it was just like, oh, okay. Like, it's just weird. Yeah, I know, Glorious. I mentioned it before. I was talking about Star Wars. I showed a little bit, too. But, what's up, Coon, man? How you doing, man? But, Game Pass fodder. That's right, Bowser. Like, yeah, right? Like, Game Pass fodder. Like, I was like, this is perfect for Game Pass. And this is the thing I have to say on it. Now that, you know, the dust has settled and people have been talking, I've been told it's the B team.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
That's what the B's for.
No deal.
They have studios. All right. This is Jez. This is Grinds My Gears breakdown of these fucking studios, okay? And you're going to hear it here first, all right?
Put that cookie down now!
Put your cookie down. I'm going to tell you right now at these studios. My thing is, and I don't know if I've said it on here, but I'm looking. They got, oh, well, this is the B team making this game, and then there's the A team, and they're making this, who made Hellblade, and the C teams, and there's a whole bunch of teams working on. There is 100 people in that studio from Wikipedia. There are 20 people that made Hellblade. 20 people. Okay? There's 100 people in the studio. If a 100-person studio could go be making 4 and 5 projects, then why the fuck has 343 400 people deep? I'm going to go look, because I'm not even going to talk out my ass. All right? I'm not going to talk out my ass. I'm not even going to talk out my ass.
He is bailing my assholes.
I want to see how many people work at 343. 343 Studios. Please tell me. 343 Studios. Let's see. How many people do we have in there? I think it's close to 400. Let's see. Wait a second.
You bastards! You vicious, heartless bastards!
450 employees as of 2016 is 343 Industries. 450.
What's with kids today, huh? No respect.
450 people working on there. And they're making one fucking Halo. But these little indie studios, 100 people deep, are doing 3 and 4 games. Really? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. If that is the case, if those 100 people are making 3 and 4 games, APC teams and all the other stuff, who said it? Bows? You better highlight Game Pass fodder, because that's exactly what they're making. They're making rinky-dink little fucking games. That's what they're making. They're not making Uncharted's. They're not making Halo's Infinites. They're not making Next Gears. They're not making Fable. No, guys. Those guys are making COD games. They're making top-down shooter arcade games. They're making 4v4 battle games, arcade games. They're making maybe like Pixel Junk. You ever hear Pixel Junk? Pixel Junk. Yeah, those type of games. Little games. You ever heard of Stardust HD? You ever hear of like those kind of games? Dude, that's what they're making. Okay? They're making little fucking rinky dinks. Okay? I think all these studios are. And it's going to come to fruition. Bleeding Edge is Exhibit A. Because if you think about it, this is not because people are haters and all this other shit. This is not because anybody's haters. There are people that love PlayStation and hate Xbox and will shit on it. Yes, fine. But for the people that really do give a fuck about Xbox, I'm going to tell you this. Because Game Pass, and I think somebody was saying all these photos are about Game Pass. They're going balls deep in Game Pass. All right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They're going. And because of that model, their games will follow suit for the subscription model. Okay? That's right. The Almighty Spawn. B Team for no. The thing is this is the thing. This is the thing. The B Team excuse. They came out of nowhere because basically it was Ninja Theory's game. Like all leading up to E3, it's Ninja Theory's. Oh, we got Ninja Theory's new IP. Ninja Theory's new IP. That's what I was told. That's what I was following. Ninja Theory's new IP. Then all of a sudden, that Bleeding Edge shows its head in a leak, which unfortunately it's a leak. Okay, unfortunately, which sucks, but it leaked. You know, I remember God of War leaked. You know, the combat leaked in God of War. People weren't going like trash game. People were like, oh shit, I want to see more of it. So, you know, you can't make the excuse that it's trash because it leaked. It is what it is. People are making judgments on what they've seen. People made judgments on God of War's combat when they first saw that leak. That leaked. It was off screen. Somebody leaked the combat. And they were like, holy shit, he's wielding the sword. And everybody was like, watched it. It was like, holy crap. It turned viral. Okay? So, all of a sudden, when that game comes out and people now are critiquing Bleeding Edge, like just based on what they saw, now all of a sudden it's a B team. Oh, there's the B team and the C teams and another team, and this was in development 20 years ago. Like, my thing is, it's like, just, we know more about the bullshit of who's working at these studios and the hiring of the clowns at these freaking studios than the quality and the games that are coming out of these studios. I hear, the Compulsion's making this, the Initiative got the janitor, and this, that. Like, I don't fucking care. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. And I criticized Sony for this fucking bullshit in the beginning when they did not have the games and they were using indies to fluff their balls. Sony didn't have these bangers in the beginning, but they used the indies as a crutch early this generation until they got their shit together. And I was like, that's smoke and mirrors. Sony don't have those big games. They don't have them. They're still in development. And they did the same bullshit. But Microsoft has been taking this smoke and mirrors, and people have been just taking this news and just making their own stories up. It's like Mad Libs. It's like friggin' Mad Libs. And they were using the indies. Like Sony used those indies. And some good games came out of them. There was Stardust HD, some of those indies, but Microsoft at that time was releasing, they had the Halo, the Tomb Raiders, the Gears of War. They had Rise. They had Dead. Like, they were hitting it off. And I'm telling you, that was the Don Mattrick era of Don Mattrick picking those games out. It wasn't until Satya came in and Phil, and they just kind of figured out where the hell gaming's going to fit. Resogun was another one. You're right, D. And then what happened is that then they basically came out and they said, we got to figure out where gaming fits in Windows or in Microsoft, and they're going to go, well, we'll just put it everywhere because the console business, the games are not selling and being like they're not paying for themselves on the console. They're not selling that well on the console. And Shannon Loftus said it, who's in like hideout right now because of the bullshit that she says, because God forbid she fucking tweets about a fucking game. Instead, she's all over political bullshit. I stopped following her because all she fucking did was talk about Trump and political fucking bullshit. And I'm like, I follow you because you're game fucking studios, lady. I expect gaming fucking news or some things that you're working on. I don't want to give a shit about your political views on bullshit. That's not why you get followed. Make a separate account. But she's now in fucking hiatus because she put a foot in her mouth. But she said it when she was on that stage. She said it is not financially feasible to make put all this money in one game and it doesn't do well. And she was talking about that was when Phil was gone to war of single player games. Now he shut the fuck up about it because now that's all that seems to be selling. But the whole thing is that they realize that they cannot make a big game and make their money back on it to be profitable. And they can only, and because of the legacy of Halo and Gears, I think those are the few survivors of this regime. But I do not see Microsoft under this new regime making a third tier or fourth tier at the equivalent of Halo or Gears, because they cannot sustain the sales and take the risk on a new IP. They're not going to. And if they do, it is going to be a service game like Sea of Thieves. It is going to be a game that has legs that they could pull money in all different ways for a long period of time. That's the way it's going to work. And I'm hoping tomorrow they prove me wrong. Show me that you are making these big games, because all I see is little shit. And these little kind of cartoony games, and that's what it looks like with 2 billion people want to play games, you know? And I hope we don't come out of E3 and it's like, yo, man, welcome to E3. Run around on stage and shit. I just hope it's not a fucking clown show. I hope they take it seriously. I'm fearing the cringe of that xCloud demonstration. I have a theory that like somebody will be on stage. Tina Summerfield will be at the Xbox Plaza. And then like somebody else will be sitting at home and they'll be like, look, we're playing on the cloud together. And we're just going to be like, ugh. Like, Jesus. And you know my position on the cloud shit. Like, just give it up. Like, just come on. Let that shit happen. Like, you know, stop betting all your eggs in that basket. Like, just chill with that cloud shit. Because I say, is like, I don't give a fuck where I play. I want to know what I'm going to play. You know? It doesn't matter if Fortnite was on phones, on your asshole, all that. It doesn't matter. There's the fact that people wanted to play Fortnite, so they'll play it wherever it is. So you got to make games that people want to play. Then you can tell me I can play everywhere. But don't tell me I can play everywhere, and then I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to play? Oh, you got to wait a couple of years for that. What the fuck that? And that's what I feel like. I feel like it's a smoke and mirrors. I feel like we're sitting here getting some bullshit and talking about the future. We're sitting here on podcasts yelling about the flops and the streaming's the future and this shit. And meanwhile, they're shooting shit out, little like mediocre stuff. Here's Crackdown today. Fucked up. You know, sorry, Crackdown. Yeah, here's see if these. You know, here's Bleeding Edge, more cartoons. 4v4. We're gonna add some booty boxes. And you'll probably add a new. We'll have an Inside Xbox. We'll reveal a new character each month and a new map and more booty boxes. Sounds great. And one more comment on Bleeding Edge again. One more comment on the Bleeding Edge shit. I know this was their idea, you know.
Another one, and another one, and another one, and another one.
Oh man, keep going, DJ. This was their idea. They wanted it. This was not influenced by Microsoft. Okay. Again, I only comment on what I see. I'm not a fly in the room. I don't know, you know, I'm not going out there. Thank you, Cyber Dragon. This is Evening Chat, and I'm your host. And DJ Callie's here too.
One, and another one.
So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not in this stuff, okay? Phil doesn't put me in private chats and tell me what's going on and shit like that. all I do is comment on what I see as a consumer. Okay. And what I see when I saw that trail of Bleeding Edge, I'm like, that is perfect for Game Pass. That is perfect for Game Pass. It is an online only game. It has the ability to add characters and add content to it because there's still that hero type shooter thing, sort of like Rainbow Six. It has some sort of characterization. It's animated violence. It's not, chopping heads off Rage 2 style or Gears of War chainsaws. It's not very violent, so it's probably going to be a teen game. And it looks like a game that probably could run on varied hardware, just from looking at it. It doesn't look like something where, oh my God, look at, just remember when you saw Ghost of Tsushima and you saw those leaves and all this other stuff, people are like, wait, that's not running on a PlayStation. Like, what is that running on? Like, that can't run there. But when you look at this game, Bleeding Edge, you're like, oh, I could see that game probably running on a Switch. I could see that game, running on a Switch or something, It's a Sea of Thieves type graphic art style. Remember when people asked, why Sea of Thieves look like the way it does? And they said, oh, the reason why it does is because it transcends time. We could run this on all varying pieces of hardware. And likewise, this game looks similar to that from what we saw. Now, there might be more information on it. Maybe there's a campaign that doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just a 4v4. But, it fits the model. Either they had this thing and showed it to Microsoft, or Microsoft basically was like, oh, we like the combat here, make this into a service-based game. Okay? And I'm going to read a quote here from Ninja Theory bought by Microsoft. And I'm waiting. And I think I tweeted it out here when the article with Hellblade Studios, and when they had the quotes from, right, the guy. And it says here, he goes here, when this is what Tameen Arcades, this chief creative, I have said so wrong, his name's so wrong, chief creative director of Ninja Theory. He reassures fans and explains the reasoning behind the sale, Microsoft buying them. He says this to say about the terms in which he was approached by Microsoft, okay? This is his quote. Now, I want everybody to
put that cookie down now.
Close your eyes and just remember what we saw of Bleeding Edge, right? And then I'm going to read what the chief creative director of Ninja Theory stated of what Microsoft approached them as, why they bought them. So remember what we saw. 4v4 multiplayer, online only, from what it looks like with this stuff. And then this is what he says. We said we want to be free from the AAA machine and make games focused on the experience, not around monetization. We want to take bigger creative risks and create genre-defining games without the constant threat of annihilation. We want to make our own games our own way and not be told what to make and how to make it. And above all, we want to protect our team, our culture, and identity because in essence, it's Ninja Theory. In short, we ask for full creative independence, and I remember thinking at the time that this is going to be the end of the conversation. But the first sentence, we want to make games focus on the experience, not around monetization. And then think about the trailer that we saw from Bleeding Edge. Do you think that game is a one and done complete game day one, that they're not going to try to extend that game and monetize it? Okay. So this game was in development before Microsoft. Okay, right? But that's what he said. And again, I'm not an insider. I don't have the Red Bat phone or the Phil phone. I'm just going on the shit that I read and the shit that is told to me. and how I feel. And when I believe something's going the way of the dodo bird, I come here and speak about it. And if that's negative, is that bad? Well, some people it might be. But I don't appreciate the double talk. I don't appreciate the bullshit. I know it's businesses. I know it's all PR bullshit. But don't come out and say we want to make experiences. Yes, the Game Pass experience. Yeah, exactly. But from what I saw in that trailer and then read, I was like, I gotta go back and read, like, why they were purchased. Like, and I wore that quote and I was like, we want to be based on experience, not the monetization. That, if you look at Hellblade and then you look at Bleeding Edge, and then look at everything that Ninja Theory has done. Hellblade, Enslaved, Heavenly Sword, DMC, all of them were narrative experiences, single-player games with no multiplayer in them. And a year after they have been purchased by the service-hungry, Game Pass-seeking
No deal.
Microsoft, they release a 4-player, 4v4 hero shooter, multiplayer only, like Overwatch. That we know from the Overwatch model is about booty boxes, it's about coins, and it's about services. It's about content. Like, they don't just add that content for free. People buy money to go unlock the boxes. Booty boxes. A year after that. I don't care if they worked on it before Microsoft or after Microsoft. It sets a bad precedent that you have a single-player narrative-focused studio that has never touched an online multiplayer game. They made Disney Infinity. They made... I think they made Kung Fu Chaos, which I don't think Kung Fu Chaos was online. And I remember that was the biggest fault of Kung Fu Chaos, that it was a 4-player co-op, a 4-player couch co-op, couch fighting. But a year after that, I don't care if they made it before or after, they make a service-based game for Game Pass. After being purchased by the company who owns Xbox Game Pass. After making just single-player experiences. So... let that sit there and say that. All I gotta say is, B team, A team, C team. The game is Game Pass fodder, and I hope we don't see more of that stuff. But I think we're going to, because this is the way Microsoft is going. Small game bites. You'll have your Halo and Gears, which I really hope, I told you again, I'm listening for Gears 5 to be day one. I don't want to hear a big, ambitious game, and it's like, and we'll be given to you over the course of 4 months.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
But one other thing I wanted to talk about, too, is the bullshit. And, yeah, let's see what Callie says. He says, to be honest, for me, the game, I don't know how to feel. Yet the trailer leaked. Didn't get you hyped. Yeah, need to see gameplay. I agree. We need to see more gameplay. The booty phone. I do have the booty phone. Guerrilla Games didn't have any experience in open world RPGs, and then they made Horizon. Maybe it could surprise everyone. Maybe, Callie, maybe you're right. Maybe they can make a multiplayer, like, combat battle arena thing. But it's something different, I guess. And, maybe it is. Like, hope it's just not a clusterfuck in the middle of the thing. Everybody spamming powers and cooldowns and all that other shit. But, I can tell you right now, when Ninja Theory, the excitement of when the Ninja Theory was purchased on that Microsoft stage last year, the E3 that Microsoft was like, it was amazing because they purchased, they announced studios, buy them some time, and they announced Ninja Theory. Well, when they announced Ninja Theory, people thought that they were getting games like Hellblade from them. They were not expecting this. And that's why I think the biggest shock is. Like, I was not expecting... I was joking that they were making a card game because I'm thinking that they're making games for Game Pass, and they made a multiplayer shooter. So we'll see how it is, but I don't think an open world RPG with a story and graphics of what Horizon Zero Dawn looked like a game like 4v4 Combat Melee will have that kind of long-term legacy. And I'm going to tell you right this. from that trailer too, very big and bold. I'm going to tell you right now, if they present that game as an esports title,
Take it back! Take it back!
You son of a bitch.
Take it back!
Don't do that.
like if they have some fucking shoutcaster out there going, and here they are, and they're gonna be going, and oh my god, like, please don't. Because I could see this. Like, you could see that, Benji. You know that, right? This is the thing. Like, you could see them doing that because this is the game. Maybe they want this in the esports scene, or maybe they go, oh, this game is going to have some partnership with some esports brand or something like that, because this is an esports type game, a 4v4 melee thing. Like, maybe this is another type of esports because that's gaming for everyone. This is the kind of way you got to think for Microsoft. Like, I hope they don't, because that will be cringe. And I hate when they present. I hated when they did Evolve. They killed Evolve like that. Instead of making this creepy kind of game, they had these stupid ass shoutcasters doing it. And I'm like, stupid. It's a creepy ass game with a monster hunting you. Like, I don't need these dopes screaming at you, going like, he's hiding behind a tree. He's behind a tree. Blah, 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, stop. That ruins the game. Like, no shoutcasters. And you don't know, dude. Like, again, here comes another rabbit hole. And you're going to be, Jez, what the fuck is wrong? Like, why you keep doing this? This game is a perfect for mixer streaming, right? Esports, mixer streaming, 4-on-4 competitive, shit talking. Maybe they got some mixer integration. Perfect. Fits the model. Perfect. A small, stream-friendly game with some competitive esports tie-in, with some mixer integration, animated violence like a Fortnite, 4v4 competitive. Let's go. It fits the model. It fits. Is that your cup of tea? I don't know. But this is the check box, exactly. Check, 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 triple check.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
And I'm just saying, like, I see it. Like, I just see this shit. And people are like, oh, that's nigga, why you down? Like, but this, it's, dude, this is what they're coming. Do you see their advertisement? Like this, like their advertisement is like for all gamers. For all gamers. All gamers come. This is, I'm telling you, people, I'm just watching it as a real thing, but I'm going to point out when they're just trashing the console. Like, when the console people are just like, we're done. Like, we checked out. Like, this conference is a conference for everyone. That's the message. We're talking streaming. We're talking 2 billion people. We're talking cell phones. We're talking PCs. We're talking strap-ons of controllers. We're talking streaming. We're talking easy, accessible games. We're talking about games that have to get you in if you were not following before. That's exactly what they're doing. And maybe that's the reason why they focused on Kate. Because guess what? Marcus and his son, you had a history. Maybe you didn't play the first 3 Gears of Wars. But you could jump in with Kate. She's a new character. She just showed up. And maybe they'll do that with Halo. They'll say, here's Master Chief. Fuck Halsey and go. You know Cortana, Master Chief. You're running around. Everybody has their own Cortana. Run around. Open world RPG. What about Locke? What about the Guardians? Just run around the Halo ring. Kill some grunts. I hope not. Get some missions from an elite. Like, from an elite guy. He's going to give you a mission to go. You need to go to the other side of the Halo ring and collect the artifact for me and bring it back to me. And I will give you 500 rupees. Then you could go buy a new helmet maybe a blue one, maybe a yellow one. And then when you cash it in, you'll be able to do special dances. Do you want a nice little emblem on your Warthog? Go to the shop located on this part of the Halo ring. And you could put a little logo stamped on your Warthog. So that's where your friends will know who you are when you're riding around your Halo ring. Oh, here comes a bunch of elites and grunts who still think the war is going on 5 Halos later. Kill them and get some experience points, and you could level up and then unlock new dances for your Spartan. Oh my god, I hope not.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. I hope you don't pull that bullshit in my Halo. Don't put that bullshit in my fucking Halo. Don't tell me to go do fetch quest missions, Sea of Thieves style, to go get fucking logos for my Warthog or dance moves for my Spartan, Destiny style in the lobby. Oh shit, hell no. Please. But yeah. Don't.
I don't think so, sucker.
Oh, yes.
Don't do it. I'm warning you. Do not do it.
You want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
Collect 10 space chickens. That's right.
I don't play this game.
That's right. Vin Diesel says.
I don't play this game.
Disappointed from Hercules.
You would need 3 promotions to get to be an asshole.
I live for this shit.
Yeah, that's how everybody else will be like. They'll show all that shit in fucking Halo Infinite, and people be like,
I live for this shit.
It's like, no. And then I'll be like,
You want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
oh my god, like, no friggin' way.
And I got the squeeze.
Oh yeah, and then it'll have some new hardware on top of that. They'll be like, oh, and come by our.
And I got the squeeze.
But my god, I just scared myself thinking that shit. Man, it's too late for that. Tomorrow's the day. It is the day.
Let Mortal Kombat begin.
Tomorrow is the day. And so yeah, it's nerve-wracking to see what they're gonna do. You know, it is kind of nerve-wracking. But you got to think, you know, wherever you are, wherever you game, Microsoft eventually is just gonna come to you. You know, just the way they are. Like, there's no more exclusive software and features. Like, that's it. They're just bringing everything to everyone. And I think this is going to be their coming out, you know, no pun intended, like their coming out party of that stuff. And I think this is where they have been talking about it, and now I think we're going to see the applications, and I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised. And I just don't know how long they're going to keep riding this ship when they realize that Microsoft does not care about the console. They will still sell you one, but that is not where their development focus nor their features and evolution is going to be on. And exactly, you're right, Kun. It's like he's gonna be like, he's gonna show up, smile on his face, you know, and he's just gonna be sitting up there. He's gonna come out and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Microsoft's Phil Spencer. Services are the future. And here's Tina Summerfield in the Xbox Plaza. Here she is playing the xCloud on her phone. She has the strap on to the controller. Oh, and there is Ybarra from the hotel room. And he is playing some xCloud. Oh my god, this is amazing. And they'll be like, ooh, look, no lag. This is amazing. Ooh. And pretend to be hitting the buttons and stuff. And that will be your xCloud presentation. And people will be like,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That'll be me.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh man, dudes, I don't know where to go from now with this stuff, but it is definitely going to be interesting. EA has failed us, as usual. They're trash. Get a Star Wars game out because we got a movie coming out this holiday, so we'll see. Oh, and people like those Dark Souls games, so make it like that. And yeah, exactly, Benji. They're going left and right, and the sticks, the character's going over, or he's jumping or running up and down. And I wouldn't be surprised if they demo it with one of their first party games. Like, they'll be showing them playing Gears of War from the hotel room or something like that, showing how xCloud works seamlessly. And the Minecraft will be a Minecraft VR. And I think somebody said in chat about not talking to Booty. Booty hose. I tell you, it's like, and then Bethesda is tomorrow night, right? So we got Bethesda tomorrow night. So that is gonna be he's Todd Howard. He better be. He's gonna get 20 lashings for that Fallout 76 bullshit. He better go out there and go, yeah. I'm sorry. We're gonna go into the bunker right now, everybody. Fallout is really happening. 76 was I'm sorry. We have a nuclear fallout shelter here. Please walk to the exits. Fallout 76 was a mistake. But wait. But can I sell you on Fallout 76 the fixed version? Oh, Jemiah got it. Yes, that's from Silent Hill ones. Yes, but but wait, we fixed Fallout 76. We've put in things that you wanted. Like, oh my god, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But they'll probably show Doom. Doom will probably do that. But Todd will make a joke. Yeah, he'll make a joke about his buggy games because he'll know that Fallout 76 was just like a joke, and it's like, yeah, I didn't make that shit. We had some other people just do Fallout stuff like that. But that dude, man, he went out there as a rock star 2 years ago when he announced Fallout 3, and I think he had some Fallout 4, and then I think I think he went out there as a rock star last year now, but this year they got some explaining to do.
Cool. This coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh, good, then it's not just me. It's a bit nutty.
So they got some explaining to do at Bethesda conference. So we'll see what the hell they're gonna do over there. But holy crap! But yeah. We'll see. Does anybody have any questions in the chat or anything going on? Holy shit, it's been over an hour. It's been an hour and a half. Holy crap. I can fucking talk. Holy shit. But I appreciate you guys coming out. It's fun. Let's have fun with this stuff. But we'll see. I'm hopefully they said there's surprises. I think so. You guys talking about it too. So in the countdown to E3 in the Microsoft Sting for the they had codes in the corner. They were like R245 and B42 or something like that, and people put them together, and actually it's for the color Scarlet, which is the code name of the family of devices that come after the Xbox One family, which was the Project Scarlet, it was called, before everybody started talking about Anaconda and Lockhart. And just to talking about the hardware thing of the announcement tomorrow, teraflops, shit flops, ass flops, titty flops, You know what? The power thing, it is what it is. Like, they're going to talk about this power stuff, but we got to know how much it costs. And also what games are going to utilize it. Because if they show a bunch of games that look like these accessible kind of cartoony games and some indie games and you know, ID at Xbox games and things like that, and then they're trying to sell you a $600 piece of hardware, that's not going to work. And I know Gears and Halo might look good. But my thing is, and I think who was talking about? Somebody was talking about it today. I don't remember who it was. But what I was thinking about was this whole like Lockhart thing, right? So that is the weaker version of the Project Scarlet. So that's like kind of like analogous to what the X. It's gonna be on the par as what the X is now, but just with the newer processes and newer features or whatever of the Scarlet family. What the Anaconda falls in, which the Anaconda is going to be their next-gen platform. Scarlet is the family of devices, but Anaconda is going to be... Anaconda squeeze! Is going to be the more powerful one, and then the Lockhart is going to be the weaker one. Again, my theory is, and I'll be crazy if I'm right, which I have no clue, but my theory is that I think they're going to have an issue trying to sell they already have issues trying to sell the Xbox One X. But if you have the next-gen console, the Anaconda, the Lockhart, that is basically the next-gen version, and it is not that much more powerful than the X, that is totally redundancy. My speculation is that I think Microsoft is going to announce, and that's why I think that this is a good talking point for them tomorrow, they're going to announce... The Anaconda is the most powerful system, but I think they're also going to let us know that the Lockhart is basically a diskless, I said diskless, Xbox One X with the newer processor and stuff like that. So they didn't just pull the disk drive out like they did with the SAT edition, where it was just not a revision. They pulled out the disk drive. I think with this one, they'll take the model of the X. They will add the new processors, the new hardware to it, make it more powerful, but they will remove the disk drive to it. Therefore, you'll have an X and a diskless, more powerful Xbox Lockhart, diskless, and then you'll have your Anaconda. Still too much hardware for a company that really hasn't been pushing out the software, but just talking about hardware, I think that that could be a diskless one, because I think it'd be kind of redundant to have an X, especially with this forward and backwards compatibility, like having an X and then having a Lockhart, which is basically, maybe a few more teraflops, or people are saying like even less teraflops than the X, which would be silly. I don't think that will work, because this thing's going to have newer processors, newer chips in it. I think it will have to be a hardware differentiation. It will have to be, and the fact that they showed, they just did a diskless SAT edition, basically, here you go. And everybody's like, well, where's there no diskless Xbox One X? I think that's what Lockhart is. I think it's a diskless Xbox One X with the new hardware in it from Anaconda, and maybe it's a teraflop or two more, but it's probably maybe sit around $400, $300, or $400, I would think. And I think that the X will drop to $400. I think the X will drop like to $300 or $350, and then this will be $400 with the more power and the diskless one, and then $500 or $600 will be the Anaconda one. And I think Sony's going to come in around $400, $450. Sony's going to fall between $400 and $500. I think they're going to go for $400 and just come out with one version of the console. I don't think they're going to go diskless. But I could see Microsoft doing a diskless one. And therefore, they're like, hey, if you still want, a diskless one at $300, well, we got the X for you. And if you want the Anaconda, you got the Anaconda that has the disk drive and everything like that. And then if you want to still go to next gen, but you don't want to do digital and you want to stream and you want to just do all digital and not do physical media, well, we got that for you too. And therefore, it's a hardware differentiation. I'll be amazed, because I don't know if anybody's really said that. I think Brad Sams kind of was thinking about that, but I don't think anybody was saying that the Lockhart is going to be diskless. But I think it is going to be, because I think if you just have that, it'll be too redundant. But I tell you right now, it's too confusing already. And I've said that so many times on here, that if you're going to next generation with 3 different versions of a console with the X and streaming and everything, all this other stuff, it's too convoluted. People are not going to know what to buy, and therefore they won't buy. And you're going to give Sony the advantage right out the gate if Sony just goes, boom, here's your shit. And exactly. And Brian V, that's the whole point. I say, like, when I talk about exclusives, and I know people go crazy when you're like, exclusives don't matter, everybody should play games and all this other stuff. Exclusives do matter. Not only do they influence the decision to buy hardware, but exactly what Brian V is saying. Power doesn't matter. Death Stranding showed that with a PS4 Pro. Exclusives matter to the development of the game, because the developer of an exclusive game only has to focus on 1 or 2 configurations, but it's the same closed hardware system. They do not have to focus on multi-platform development. They don't have to make assets that are going to work on a varying fluctuation of platforms. Like, does this work on the PlayStation? Does this asset work on Xbox? Does this asset work on the 5 different versions of the 1,000 versions of the PC configurations? Does this work with this NVIDIA graphics card? Does this work with AMD graphics cards? When a developer could just focus on a closed platform, and I use the example, look at Gears of War 1 versus Gears of War 3. That wasn't a generation difference, but there were capabilities in Gears of War 3 that you were able to do than you weren't able to do in Gears 1, because it was the first time game. They used it was the same graphics card, same chips, maybe a little bit smaller chip that give you better heat things, because it was getting the red ring of death. But the game, you had fighting a Brumac free roaming, like roaming around under the Brumac's feet, whereas the Brumac was behind the wall in the first one. You just saw it in the background and shot at it. It wasn't no mid-gen refresh of that thing of better graphics. No, they just were able to get more power out of the box, because the box hardware was not fluctuating. It was the same hardware, and they just learned how to utilize it and program for it. That's why when you have an exclusive, the developer has the time to focus on maximizing the potential of that hardware. And nobody says that. Everybody just goes, well, why you want exclusives? It's anti-consumer. Fuck that. It's not because of just you can't play and I can play. That influences purchasing decisions. But I'm talking about the development. What Microsoft has done is taken every single one of their first-party developers and turned them into a third-party. So now when 343 has to make a game, they got to make sure that that game works on Halo. Now, instead of just working on the Xboxes, the closed platforms, they got to make sure that this works on every AMD graphics card, every NVIDIA card, every configuration. Now there's a work on Steam. How's the packaging work for Steam? Does it work for Windows 10, UWP, and wait, we already got the delay in Halo Reach. Halo Reach was supposed to come out in May. We are in June right now, and it's still not available for PC because it was harder than they thought. That's why they delayed it. You want to know why? Is because 343 was a console developer, and now they're making shit for PC, and they never made shit for PC before. And I'm telling you right now, I know they build these assets on PCs, but Microsoft has taken they're taking their first-party studios and turned them into PC devs when these people had no kind of way of working with different configurations. And you're going to see a lot of issues. We've seen these things happen, but this is what Microsoft has done. They have changed the developmental. Not only are these games being built now for a service model, but these games now are multi-platform. So they're going to have assets that have to be shared across all varying hardware. Sony doesn't have to worry about that. See, Brian V, you got me on my soapbox.
Another one, and another one, and another one, and another one.
And Sony's games, God of War, how it looks on the PlayStation Slim and the PlayStation 4 Pro, and how Horizon Zero Dawn looks, and how Death Stranding looks, and how Days Gone looks. All that looks amazing. They look better than that because that is traditional console development, and that's why exclusives matter, because you are getting the cream of the crop the best the best potential out of that hardware that's sitting under your TV is being tested to the max. That's why the PlayStation 4 Pro sounds like it's going to take off and go deliver some newspapers in the sky, because it is being utilized to the max, because they are working on closed system hardware. They don't have to worry if God of War assets will have to work on a PC running an NVIDIA 2080 or an NVIDIA like 720i card, whatever, bullshit like that. They don't have to worry about that. So that's my soapbox thing. But that's why exclusives matter. That's why. Because it's multi-platform development. That's why when you get multi-platform games from EA and Ubisoft, they're shared assets across platforms, because they got to make sure this thing runs on all different things. And because of that, sometimes the game fidelity or sometimes things they wanted to do with a game can't be done, because they have to make sure that it works across all these multi-platform systems. When you have a first-party developer focusing on one piece of manufacturing hardware or two variations, like a Pro or a Slim, or a next generation console, it's still the same. It's closed hardware. You don't worry about all that stuff. But Microsoft developers, you do. And I go right back to that interview that we did with the State of Decay guys right after they were being purchased almost a year ago. And Merc 305, shout out to Merc, asked that question, and I'll never forget it, because he goes, now that you guys have been making games, and you'll be making games for PC, what is that considered? And they go, that's multi-platform development. He goes, I always develop my assets on the PC in the highest resolution to run on PC, and then we always have to downgrade it for the consoles. That's what he said. So it's multi-platform development. Now they got to deal with multiple consoles. So that's why exclusives matter in a nutshell, and people don't realize that. That's why the Zelda and all that other stuff could run on a Switch. That's why, not on an Android phone. Like, that's the whole point, guys. Like, that's the whole thing. So, does anybody have any other questions?
He is paining my assholes.
Paining my assholes. That's probably what I am. To a lot of people. Does anybody have any questions? Like, we are going into, let me look at the Twitter streets and see if there's anything that strikes my eye. You're going to get live Twitter, live Twitter, snake oil salesman. But yeah, let me see what's going on in these Twitter streets. You can get live reactions to Twitter right here. Yep. Angrienberg hyping, oh Jesus. Oh no, please. Alright guys, I'm gonna show you something. This just popped up on my oh, that's sweet. That's cute. Oh goodness gracious. You see this? Why does Phil Spencer look like he's, I would say it's nice that they do that for the fans. Like, I do think that Xbox Fan Fest is really nice. Like, that's something that's really cool. It's just I want to see more, like, a reason to celebrate. Like, just being together, that's great in the community and all that other stuff, but they got to show it with the games. Like, don't go up here, prance around with X's and hugging and all this other stuff, and be giving us mediocrity and giving us games that are not even breaking 80s and stuff like that, and just tell us to get hyped and stuff like that. Like, just please, like, they've been doing this stuff. Get hyped, get hyped, and if they come out there and show a bunch of State of Decay 2s and all that other stuff, and then just like wash it down with some Halo and Gears that looking the same, and then tell us to go buy a $600 console. It's just, dude, like, stop. You're not, like, it's just yeah, everybody's excited. That's good. Now give me a Mecha Solid Conquer. People are saying like Killer Instinct might go there. Whoa, what's this? Why is Smash Brothers Ultimate trending? Hold on. Oh, and that's the other thing. Oh, for the championship. I think that they're going to have... I think Microsoft is going to announce Banjo and Kazooie for Smash Brothers. That's my other prediction. So one is the Lockhart will have a discless console, and I do think that they're gonna announce that's gonna be a big thing, is having them having Banjo-Kazooie for Smash Brothers, and maybe have a Nintendo out on stage or a Switch or some shit like that. And yeah, and for the crowd, the Xbox Fan Fest guys that are partying right now, yeah, who knows? But those teraflops, yeah, I know it's about teraflops. Yeah, Scarlet. Yeah, there's the hidden stuff of Scarlet stuff. We will see tomorrow. Well, they got a lot to prove. I think last year people were a little nervous. But and they bought some time, and now we'll see tomorrow on what they're going to do. Get hyped for services. That's right. I don't know what we're doing, man. I have no clue. I don't know if I'm gonna go on Sick Humors. Like, I know last year when we did the live stream, we weren't allowed to talk. I hear it all. So maybe I'll jump on. I might just on 6, and then I think we're gonna do a reaction. Or they might be doing. It might be doing one with he's doing one with Weapon Wheel. I don't know. I don't think we're doing a live stream. I think we're doing just a reactions after the fact, and I don't. Again, I don't know. I'm just not. I liked when all three of them were there. I wanted to see. I liked it when the Battleground was on. I would get that flutter in my stomach, like almost like a championship game. And the fact that Sony's there does deflate a lot of it out of there. And not that I wanted to see them how they responded to each other. Like, have one set of news and versus and then if they're gonna adjust their news and stuff like that, and how they match up with their things. Like, I think Sony's conference last year was silly. They had the sports desk. But I think their announcements were great. Like, they announced Black Ops. They announced that Tetris VR game, which, is on sale now. I thought it was, and what they showed was great. But I think the way that thing was structured was silly. Like Fox Sports, something like that. Like, they had the sports desk while they're moving people to venues. And I thought that was a little silly. But, again, Microsoft's content, I think it was a good stage. I think I like it at that theater. But, yeah, the guy playing the flute bullshit. Yeah, I didn't like that. Like, I know they're trying to do with the immersiveness and all that other bullshit, but I didn't like that. But I like them when they're all there. Like, it definitely is something missing this E3. I don't know if Sony's gonna drop another state of play this week. I have a feeling they might, and they might just do a state. They might announce maybe on Tuesday they're doing a state of play, or Monday. Who the fuck knows? Maybe tomorrow. Saying they're doing a state of play, and we're going to talk more about Last of Us 2. Holy shit. Talk about taking that they talking about being in the sidelines and just taking any hype away from that. I don't know if there'll be dicks like that and do that tomorrow or this week. But I don't know. I'll be very surprised if they just stay quiet. But because I don't know how they correct it. I have no clue, but we will see. We'll see what it is. I do think that they keep saying invited for everyone. I wish, I think I would have been more excited if Microsoft wasn't as open platform as they were. I would be more excited for an Xbox. I would go get one. I would just go get another one. I'm like, yeah, I'll go get an Xbox. Come on. And that's where I because that's what happened with the Sony thing. I was watching, I'm like, I'm going to go get one. And I watched Sony's conference 2 years ago with a PlayStation in the box. And I was like, and that was the one where they showed Spider-Man, God of War. And I'm like, all right, let's open the shit now. And I opened the PlayStation, and that's what got me to buy a PlayStation was I always say, I used to always do it. At E3, I used to do it with Nintendo. Because I always had the Xbox at first. Now it's just the roles are it changed a little bit. But I would always have the Xbox, and then I will go to Sony. I'll be right there, right before the show, E3 show, and I'll be like, sell me a PlayStation. Let's go. And I would sit there and watch it, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope. And no PlayStation this year, don't need it. And then PlayStation 3, that happened when they, my wife got it for me for my birthday, when I saw God of War 3. And I was like, whoa, when God of War comes out. And then I played a God of War 3 and Uncharted, but I did not like the operating system of the PlayStation 3. And then what happened is that, I got the PlayStation 4 and there's just so many games. I couldn't believe how many games there were that people didn't even talk about. And just keep playing them, and I wound up just playing more on PlayStation than on the Xbox. Even though I had like 350 games, almost 100,000 gamer score on my Xbox. And then what happened was that Xbox started saying they were going to make their games on PC, and instead of waiting for the X, I went out and got a gaming PC, and I started playing their games before the X came out. So that's why I didn't get the X, because I had the PC. And then I started just playing more on PlayStation and on the PC, and then I basically, got my S's, and I started trading them in, getting money for them. And I would love to buy the next console, if they stop just jerking off, make some games and get me onto that next console. But with their messaging and stuff like that, it just can't. I just don't know how I'm going to go out and then buy an Anaconda when everything out of their mouth is about everybody else besides the console. And then after they say all their shit, they go, oh, but the console's still important to us. And it's like, don't bullshit me. Oh, where's my Arnold? Come on. Don't bullshit me.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I know, man. Cyborg, man. EA, that EA play was a fucking EA joke. I don't, and again, and I said it before, my whole rant about, I don't consider updates to old games friggin' E3 worthy news. And they went to E3 with one game. The amazing thing about EA too, and this is just to jump it on EA, it's open forum, guys. Say whatever you want. I might stay on here a few more minutes. But the main thing about EA is that I thought a few years ago, EA was kind of lined up to make they had that EA independent studios, I think it was a couple years ago, they had the Brothers, they had the Yawn game, they had UFC, they had Star Wars. And ever since Star Wars, and even in Battlefield, Battlefield 1, after Battlefront, I think Battlefront 2 fucked them up. I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 really kicked them in the nuts. Because ever since then, they seem to just be squirming. They had Star Wars on a silver platter, Battlefield, and I think Battlefront won. I think Star Wars killed EA. I think that license that they had with Star Wars, they abused. They did not do it right. They tried to monopolize it with booty boxes and all that other bullshit. And I feel that they have been squandering ever since. They just try to milk a UFC game, UFC 3. And again, I don't think that really, it is what it is. They really haven't done too much. But, yeah, right. Oh, my God. EA's conference was horrible. I can't imagine. Ubisoft has to have a better conference. Microsoft has to have a better conference. Microsoft's going to be the multi-platform show. There are going to be so many games that we're going to see there for the first time. That's going to be multi-platform, I think. And I think, and I just want to let people know now, when I look at when I look at Microsoft's, Sony's not there, but when I look at Microsoft's and Nintendo's mostly there. When I look at their conference, I do not evaluate them based off of the multi-platform games. All right? When Sony's out there showing Destiny and Sony's out there showing Call of Duty, I'm not like, oh my God, Sony had a great show. No. Unless there's exclusive things or something special, or if it's timed exclusive or the game's coming out first there, then I'll pay it. Then I consider that a W for one of those for the things. But when you go out there and you show a game that's coming out day and date and all you have is a logo in front of it, I don't evaluate that as a great show. I don't say oh, must have a great show. They showed Cyberpunk. No, I don't. I filter out all the bullshit. Let's cut the bullshit out.
Put that cookie down.
Put the cookie down. And I look at it for what is exclusive to your, like, what are you bringing to the table? You are a console manufacturer. You have a console responsibility to sell this console. What are you doing special for your own console? What games, what features, what things are you doing exclusively for your console? And that's how I'm going to evaluate Microsoft on. And people might not. If Microsoft does have a kind of like a hokey dokey, Halo, Gears, and just kind of like whatever first party, then and then they go, oh well, Cyberpunk was amazing. Oh, and that third party game that they showed was incredible looking. We already know we're gonna see more of Star Wars there. That release, you're right, Benji. That release date's gonna kill it. And also too, I do think Star Wars. I think when people see it, the gameplay of it, I think they're going to be taken back a little bit, though, because it is slow. It is not the Jedi Master acrobatic lightsaber battle thing. It's more systematic. It's more Dark Souls-y. And I don't know if there will be some people that like that, but I think a lot of people will be turned off by that because it does not. It looks very linear and it looks very contrived and it looks very slow. The animations look slow. Now, if it has a great story and and the combat gets a little better, like that guy was doing one slot kills. Like, and that was the other thing. Like, it looks slow with an expert player playing it. They said, like, I'm hoping that if you just play it by day, you're not just doing one slice and backing off and dodging and one slice and, play it Dark Souls style, because that will look like a weird-ass Star Wars game. If you're, like, hit, parry, hit, dodge, hit, parry, like, and try to, do, like, Sekiro style, but Sekiro looked faster than that. Like Sekiro looked like more fluid and ninja-ish than that did, and that's what I thought Jedis are. They're like light ninjas. Like, it's a lightsaber. It's not a heavy broadsword. So we'll see how that pans out. But we know we're going to see more of that tomorrow at E3 on Microsoft stage. We know State of Decay 2 is going to have a DLC. iRoll. Oh, did it? Yeah. It's going to have some State of Decay 2, some CFDs. Those games just don't go away. I wonder if they're going to have Crackdown there. I don't know. But you know what? There's one more thing I wanted to touch on. Now that I think about it. And shout out to the 15 people watching. Like, share the video. We're going to do the last topic today. And one of the things, and again, this might not be liked. People might not like this, especially, you're hyped for tomorrow, E3. But let me tell you something. Another thing. Microsoft with this leak. And just leaking in general. Leaking sucks, right? It sucks. And people will have a planned way to do this thing. Like, they roll out their game and all that other stuff. But let me explain something with the way Microsoft runs things. Microsoft has a number of outlets with Inside Xbox, X018. Plenty of ways to tease, and even though I don't like teases, but at least start whetting the appetite of the fans on what you're going to do. And I was thinking about this morning, like when I was looking at the trail, because there's a lot of people pissed off. I saw Jason Schreier running out about, the leaks are good, and then Corey Balrog was like, that people worked hard on this, and everybody going back and forth with the leaks. And, Jason Schreier was like, this is what happens, deal with it, don't let corporations say, you ruined our thing. Like, he's against the corporation thing. And then Corey was like, from a developer perspective, that we work hard on this and there's a certain type of reveal, which you blame it on the publisher, right? But Microsoft has this tendency of wait to E3. That whole trope that we hear all over the internet, like wait to E3, wait to E3, wait to this. They build this anticipation, this hype train. Just look for that tweet that I showed you. The hype. Because all throughout the rest of the year, same thing with Gears of War, right? Gears 5, we have that one trailer from E3. That is it. And look how Sony did Days Gone. They showed a little bit more. They had some coverage. They had interviews. They had Game Informer coverage. Like, with this game, Bleeding Edge, for what it looked like why couldn't Inside Xbox have them on the stage, like, have Ninja Theory there? Don't tease Ninja Theory, or just say Ninja Theory is going to be here, and have them come out and go, hey, we're working on multiple projects. This is from Ninja Theory. We're working on multiple projects. The team really wanted to start doing a multiplayer game, and they really want to have this game, and with amazing characters. We had some great drawing of the staff of these amazing characters, and they all have these backgrounds, which we're going to reveal after the game launches, or inside the game. There's going to be some great, and then they took a lot of time, and each character has special abilities, and we really want to, explore the multiplayer realm. This is the title of a game, Bleeding Edge. We will talk about it more at E3. Inside Xbox, done. Microsoft's new game, Bleeding Edge, confirmed multiplayer with hero elements. That's it. Maybe show the logo and just say we're talking more about it at E3. Gears of War. You showed the trailer of Kate's thing. Why in December or January you're not like, and you know what, there's going to be some snow levels of Gears of War. We're going to add them to Gears 4. With some of the elements that we're using for Gears 5 and Gears 4. Oh, and also, too, we're going to show a little clip of the multiplayer on Inside Xbox this month. Like, build up the hype to your games. Don't go radio silent from one E3 to the next. And then in between that E3 to the other E3, you are just spewing all the crap about your tech, the clouds, xCloud, services, PC, all this other stuff. And you stay hush on anything about the games. And you just save it all for E3 and get all these people hyped. And then when you come out there and you show Bleeding Edge, people are like, oh, we waited for this? This would have been same thing for like Ori. You're not going to spoil the story of Ori. Like, why wasn't Ori featured as a little snippet on Inside Xbox? People go, well, Inside Xbox is not E3. It doesn't have to be E3. But you could take some of these games, some of these kind of Oris and stuff like that, and not put them on E3 stage, because you could sit there and go, well, that game doesn't belong at E3. We should be showing the big guns at E3. Like Halo and Gears, like those are, and do a sizzle reel for Ori. But maybe Ori needs more time, more appreciation, and put that in an Inside Xbox of somebody actually playing the game, because they don't play any games on friggin' Inside Xbox. They just talk. But utilize Inside Xbox to start building up the game, building up in layers. Introduce the character, introduce the mechanics, introduce the ambiance, introduce the background, introduce the art style. Keep adding to the game and get people invested in your game. Don't just do a 2-minute splash screen of Bleeding Edge and then we don't hear about it now until January. Because I could see them doing this. I could see them showing Bleeding Edge at E3. I could see them doing the technical beta, which is probably going to be on the NDA. You're not going to be able to talk about it. And not share screens or anything. Play that for a weekend. And then you're not going to hear anything about Bleeding Edge. And then what's going to happen is they're going to say and announce, probably XO18, they'll announce a release date in February. And then you won't hear anything else about it. Well, maybe they'll show a new trail at XO19. And then in February, everybody will be like, Aaron Greenberg, where's the marketing to Bleeding Edge? It's supposed to come out in February. Remember, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown? We heard nothing about these games. And everybody's like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen nothing. We heard nothing about these games until the week that they came out on the Inside Xbox. Crackdown 3 was like, you didn't even know what the hell was it. What? Oh, we'll have coverage at Inside Xbox about it. And they built this anticipation that people started creating on stories like, oh, they're adding this. I remember State of Decay 2. Everybody's like, Greenberg, when are you going to do it? He's like, marketing starts on May 1st. And then on May 1st, people come out and go, oh, there's a tethered option. You can't leave the host. And that just killed the hype for 2 weeks. Then the game came out with all glitches and got 69s. Because it's spooky. It makes it look. Yeah, right. No, nobody said that shit, right? Nobody said the best Xbox history, lineup history. They did not say that. But, you know, it's one of those things where I feel like Microsoft just keeps building this anticipation, and that's why there's consistent letdown, because they're quiet so much on the games front. And they don't build and layer their games as like Sony does. And Nintendo, we already got two, like this, just look between Pokemon and Gears 5. Pokemon was alluded to last year. Before they released Pokemon Go, they're like, a traditional Pokemon will be talked about next year. So they alluded to it. Gears 5 showed itself at E3 a year ago. Pokemon then had a direct in January, February, where they talked more about Pokemon Sword and Shield. And they just had another one last week showing more elements to the game. Saying, wow, you thought you just saw the guy walking around with the Pokemon here, the 3 types of Pokemon. Well, now there's raids. And I'm sure they'll do another Pokemon Direct and probably talk about more about customizing Pokemon. Who the hell knows? But you keep adding layers to your game to build up the hype for when it comes out. You don't go radio silent and then the month that the game comes out, you go, oh, by the way, Gears is in Game Pass today. You don't do that. And Microsoft has a tendency over the last couple of years of not building interest into their games, which hence is why the games probably don't sell. And maybe they don't give a shit whether they sell 1 million copies, because now it just goes into Game Pass, and if they got 1 million subscribers, they go, oh, that's 1 million people that could play it. And they don't have to put so much effort into selling the game. Rather, they put the effort into selling the service. And Benji's right. You got to wait for E3. But the thing is that nobody's going to subscribe to the service if there's no quality games in there and games that people want to play. And it's Microsoft's job to really push these games and make these games the reason why you sign up for the service. Nobody would sign up for Netflix if there's trash shows in there, but like Stranger Things, things like that, people get signed up. Nobody signed to HBO to watch movies that were in the movie theater 4 or 5 months ago. Who the fuck wants to watch that? But no. Oh shit, Game of Thrones? Yeah, I'll sign up for HBO. The contents would drive the services. The services can't drive themselves. That's like without gasoline. And that's the biggest problem that Microsoft has right now. They don't have the gasoline for their services. So it's all just smoke. And they don't build hype for their games. They show a picture of Aaron Greenberg and fucking Phil Spencer crossing X's and go, hype. No. Know your audience. That's not hype. Drop a sneak peek like a week ago about Gears 5 or something like that. Like, get hype for the game. I don't get hype for you standing in front of Xbox sign. That's the disconnect. That's the stuff that frustrates me. That's right. Cancel everything, HBO, after the Game of Thrones. That's right. Done. But that's the thing. Like, you know, just because you stand there and say, just because you're Phil or you're Aaron Greenberg, that's not the reason to get hyped. Like, and some people that gets them off. That gets them excited. Oh, yeah, Phil's doing an X. I'm hyped. I don't play that game. Where is he? Where is he?
I don't play this game.
I don't do it. Like that don't get you hyped. It's the games, man. It's the games. That's what it's about. And I just don't, I just don't get some of it. And that's the, you know, we will see tomorrow. Let me get you the times of when it is. What is it? The Xbox E3. What time it is? It's going to be at... Yes, Xbox Scarlet, of course. I'm going to try to show more hardware down our face. Microsoft has confirmed as of 8:30 tonight that is the Scarlet teaser. So, yeah. And they're going to have a new Xbox desktop experience for... here, I'll share my screen while you guys still hanging in there. I appreciate you guys hanging out and talking, chatting it up. Yeah, this article just came out from The Verge. We got updated. So they teasing the next generation's Xbox Scarlet. So right here, so you see BO. So people looked at it as G86, R255, and that is the color Scarlet. And then Microsoft just confirmed that that is a Scarlet teaser. So Scarlet's the next family of Xboxes that they will be showing. And they'll probably call it Project Scarlet, and maybe they won't even talk about two different ones. And then the software maker has also teased a new Xbox desktop experience for Windows 10. Yay! Here it is. Oh, look, our favorite games. Included with Game Pass, buy game with Game Pass, description. Looks kind of good. And what I heard is that this thing is going to be kind of the gateway into the Xbox store, because they do not like how and I can totally agree. I do not like how you know, the Xbox is presented in here. Like, it is just bleh. Like, here's your Windows 10 store from hell. You know, you go to games and it's like, yeah. I don't even know what an Xbox PC... I don't know what a PC Game Pass will look like in here. Like, what the fuck? I'm going to get God's Remaster. Like, I don't even know what trash they could give us in here. Like, besides their games, I don't know what, like, what else they would do. Cuphead's on sale. But, yeah. So I don't think the Xbox app changed yet, but yeah, this is... Oh, Dead Rising 4 is in there. Quantum Break, yay. Minecraft, still $30. Age of Empires, yeah. San Andreas. This is that wonderful store. So I don't even know if the Lucky Sevens. There we go. 100 free spins. Best-selling game. Hidden City. You might like Candy Crush Soda. But anyway. Yep, so that's the thing there. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. But anyway. I'm going to sign off, guys. That just leaked today, now. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. And we will be E3. I'll let you know where I am. I'll be on the Twitters, and I'll let you know. But I want to appreciate everybody. Tomorrow is D-Day. Thank you very much for coming out. And again, this has been Jez7780. What grinds my gears? Like, share the video. And till then, I am out, guys. See you on the other side. E3 is tomorrow. Microsoft's presser. Let's go. Let's do this. Thanks again, guys.